30? And we have 10? You're crazy? That's why I want to stop this. You have to steal the watch. We can win this battle. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's English reading practice. It's Tuesday, September 19th, 2023, and I'm thrilled to have you all here with me for this session. We'll be diving into a new fascinating story by Olly Richards called The Watch. My name is Ferney Herrera. Today, we'll be exploring the third chapter. Chapter 3, The Battle.
Esta es una nueva manera de lernen, aprender, aprendere,
languages, enquanto tu desfruta,
accents,
alphabet,
culturen,
sonidos, regole gramaticali.
quickly and easily. Alors,
Bon travail.
et bienvenue à Linguista.
Chapter 3, The Battle. A few hours later, everyone was ready for battle. Eric, Frank, Carl, and Susan boarded Eric Kraken's ship. It was very big. It had many cannons. It was the pirate's personal and favorite ship. Frank was his second in command, and Kraken always traveled with him. Eric and Kraken was high up at the helm. Frank showed Carl and Susan the rest of the ship. "What do you think of our beauty?" he asked. Susan looked around and smiled. "I can't believe I'm on a real pirate ship. This is incredible," she said. Frank laughed. "It's nothing," he said. "We see it daily." Frank brought Carl and Susan back to the helm. The ship was already moving. The wind was slightly cold, but there were no clouds. All they could see was the blue water of the Caribbean and the beach. It was beautiful. They were going into battle against the English. They had to do something to stop it. Eric L. Kraken watched the sea. He was still at the helm. Carl and Susan watched Eric. Suddenly, they heard Frank's voice behind them. "So, how are you going to do it?" "To what?" replied Carl. "Steal the watch. You have to do it before the battle starts." "Wait a second," said Carl. "That's the part I don't understand. Why does Eric want Susan and me here on the ship? We don't know how to fight." "I told you, he thinks you can beat the English somehow." Carl looked up. He saw Eric. He was looking at them. His eyes showed nothing. He was just watching them. "Well, he's wrong," said Carl. "We can't help. I don't know what they thinks we can do." "Actually," Frank said, "I don't know what Eddie is thinking either." "What do you say that?" asked Susan. "Look at the sea." Carl and Susan looked. They counted 10 pirate ships. "See? We have 10 ships," Frank pointed out. Susan didn't understand what Frank meant. "Yes, we have 10 ships, so," Frank just looked at her. "Oh, I see," she said. "We have 10 ships, but the English have more, right?" "Yes, how many more?" "They have 30. "30? shouted Carl. "And we have 10? You're crazy? That's why I want to stop this. You have to steal the watch. We can win this battle." But if Kraken won't give up. Not to the English, not to anyone, okay? "So what can we do?" asked Carl. "We steal the watch." Susan jumped in. She looked at Carl. "Like I said, I have an idea." Susan explained the plan. "You are watchmaker, right?" "Yes," answered Carl. "Tell Eric that you can win the battle, but you need his watch to do it." "And how do I do that?" "Tell him you know how it works. Say you can stop the English ship with its powers. And then run?" "That's really bad plan," said Carl. "But it's the only one we have," replied Susan. Carl agreed. They had no choice. Carl walked over to Eric. Time was running out. The captain was telling his men what to do. Eric saw Carl. What do you want? Do you know a way to win? Yes. Yes, I do. Come here. I'll tell you. The stout pirate and Carl walked away from the others. Fran and Susan pretend that they didn't see anything. Eric, as you know, I'm a watchmaker. I need to see your watch. The pirate's face changed completely. What for? If you let me see it, I think we can win the battle. What do you mean? Asked Eric. He was looking at Carl suspiciously. Carl didn't know what to say. He thought hard. Then he continued, and think I know how it works. He lied. So, if you let me see it, I can change the watch. I will take us to another place, one that is far from here. That way we don't need to fight. The time had come. The English ships had arrived. They began fighting their cannons. The pirates' boat fired their cannons back. The ships rocked as the cannonballs hit around them. Eric shouted at his men, "Come on, keep fighting, we can't lose." Carl tried to think. He needed the watch. As long as Eric had the watch, he would fight. And without the watch, Carl and Susan couldn't return to Penzance. "Listen to me," shouted Carl. Eric ignored him. The English ship's cannons kept fighting. "Let me see it," continued Carl. "Let me see the watch," he shouted. "Then we can win the battle. We can beat the English." Eric looked at him, but he held tightly onto the watch. Suddenly, a cannon shot through the helm. Eric lost his balance. He fell. This was Carl's chance. He grabbed the watch from Eric and ran. Eric realized what had happened. "Stop! Stop that man!" he shouted. Eric's men began to chase Carl. Carl threw the watch to Susan. She quickly caught it and ran. Carl ran towards her. Then they saw Eric. He was coming their way. The English cannons fired again. Eric tried to grab Susan. Suddenly, Fran stepped in to stop Eric. He was helping Susan. Susan had the watch. Carl grabbed for the watch. Eric grabbed for the watch. Fran grabbed Susan to keep her safe. The next thing they knew, the watch was activated. The whole group was traveling forward in time. They were going to the 21st century. They turned to 9 and they were back on Eastern Greenwich. Eric was the first to realize what had happened. He looked around for the watch. He couldn't see it anywhere. Then Eric saw it. It was under Frank's foot. He pushed Frank away. He picked up the watch. It was broken. "What have you done, Frank? What have you done?" Eddie cried. Frank ignored him. He was looking at the beach. Then he looked at the town and the people. It was the first time he had been in the future. It was all new and a little strange. Eddie got more and more angry. He said to Frank, "What do we do now? We can't go back. What do we do?" Nobody said anything. Finally, Susan spoke. "Come to the workshop, Eric. Carl will make the effort to fix your watch. And if he can fix it, you can get home. But then you must destroy the watch. It's dangerous. No good will come from it." "I will," replied Eric. Then Susan looked at Frank. "I have a request. You must promise to help Eric. He must destroy the watch. Make sure he does not keep it. Force him to do it if you have to. If you do not destroy it, it will be the end of you. Do you understand?" "I do," said Frank. "When I am back home, I never want to see that watch again." Finally, Susan looked at Carl. "And you?" she said, smiling. "The next time you have a crazy idea, like wanting time travel, don't take me with you." Carl smiled and agreed. And that's it. I'm really interested to hear your thoughts. What do you think of my reading? What do you think of the story? Feel free to share your feedback. Bye for now.
C'est fini. Merci.
Gracias.
Danke.
شكرا.
谢谢.
Evharisto.
And thanks for watching and listening to Lingosta.